Hey everybody, we are going to do this again. I'll let everybody get on because I found out that on my other one that nobody could hear me. So we are going to do it again. So as per requested, one more time, which is not a problem at all. I don't mind doing it one more time. And we're going to get started here in just a minute as everybody gets on. Remember this, you should be able to hear me now. Alright, so as everybody's coming on, remember today is October 19th. As I said in my last video, happy anniversary to my buddy Sean Strobel and his beautiful wife, to Chad Hillebrenner and his beautiful wife. There are several birthdays out there today. I want to wish them, everybody, a happy birthday if you have a birthday. And I want to make sure that each and every one of you know that you matter and you're important. And there are 3 things that we are going to go over. And I just have my really cool marker that I used on the last one, and now I can't find it. You ever do that? You misplace something? Like, literally just have it? If my head wasn't screwed on tight, I don't know what I would do. Alright, so in other words, I will have to see if I can grab another one out of here. And by the way, I do not like the way I look on camera. Okay, so we will go with a different color this time. So, anyway, today is October 19, 2021. Hope everybody's having a great day. For all those Marines out there, hoorah, you know, give me a Semper Fi if you're from the Marines. If you're military, let me know. Okay? Paula Spiney, how you doing? James Looper, Mike South, haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Tony Bennett, hey, how you guys doing? Give me a thumbs up. Alright, here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to go over something really quick. There's a couple things I want to go over. And it's going to be a little motivation. I told you I got 3 things to go over with everybody. But before we go over everything, I want to explain something to people. Okay? One of the things that we're going to start out with is everybody's been hearing about the 22. Okay? Semper Fi, Pauline. Okay. The 22. What is the 22? It means 22 veterans every single day commit suicide, active duty, and military. Now, and I see all these people. They're doing the push-ups, the sit-ups. Oh, I love it. I love it. I don't. Not because I'm not proud that they're trying to recognize and make awareness. But whenever we do awareness, you have to be doing something to stop it. Not just making awareness. Awareness means nothing unless there's a plan of action, okay? It's kind of like we're aware there's an enemy next to us. But what are we doing to prevent it? What are we trying to do to stop it? What kind of defenses are we trying to put up to prevent that enemy from attacking or getting a foothold, okay? And the reason why I say that is because it's not just military. There's people out there that are suffering from PTSD, depression, and everything else, okay? How can we stop them? By being nice. Believe it or not, it's simple. It doesn't cost money in order to stop PTSD from becoming so severe that it takes a person's life. Yes, there are people out there that have it terrible. There's others that exaggerate about it. There's others that are dying from it. And what we need to do, and before I get started on all this, because I'm waiting for everybody to get online first, so I'm going to go over this first, okay? So what do we need to do? Call up a friend and a buddy. Let them know, hey, how you doing? You know? Write something on your Facebook about somebody, but always be truthful and honest. Everybody keeps asking me, why do I put things on my Facebook? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to live outside my box, okay? One of the things that my mentors and the people that I follow, one of the Brian Carruthers, the Rich Ellermans, the Alan Romans of the world, the Grant Cardones, the Mike Melias of the world, all these, the Jeff Bells, all the different motivators. You read Chicken Soup for the Soul. You read all these different books. How to Win Friends by Dale Carnegie. One of the things that you got to understand, one of the main things is you got to live outside your comfort zone. Okay? And before I get into all this, I need to kind of explain a few things to you. I'm not comfortable doing this. That's the reason why I'm all over the place. When I'm on stage or something, I'm very comfortable. But talking like this, I'm talking to myself. I'm not talking to you guys. So, alright, can you guys hear me? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me real quick? Can you guys hear me? Can everybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Oh, okay. Sorry. They were calling me because they butt dialed. Good job. Sorry, I needed to make sure everybody could hear me because I had somebody calling me because before you guys couldn't hear me. This time you can hear me. Alright. What I was trying to say is everybody asks why I put stuff on my Facebook page. Because I suffer. And I go through a lot. And so what I do is I always make sure that I recognize people in my life, or the people that I know, so they know that they matter and they're important. That makes it important. That's why I put people on my Facebook page. I'm tired of negativity. So what I do is every time I see something negative, I gotta co-balance it with a positive. Every time I'm feeling negative on the inside, I gotta go co-balance it with a positive by talking positive about somebody, by being truthful, being honest, being upfront. And that being said, let's get into what I'm going to talk about today, okay? Here we go. Are we ready? Are we ready? What I want you to do right now is I want to ask you a question. These are going to be what-if questions. And the reason why I'm going to ask you these what-if questions is because somewhere down the road this has happened to people, okay? What if you get in a wreck tomorrow and the insurance company does not back up your insurance claim? What do you do? What if all of a sudden the police arrive at your door with a search warrant because somebody said that you had drugs at your house, even though you don't, and they want to search your house, and now they got a search warrant? What do you do? What do you do if the police arrive at your door on a holiday or weekend to take your children from you? Because, well, somebody felt that you may have done something inappropriate. You may have abused somebody. What if all of a sudden you had a picture or a video or something of your kids just playing a game, but because somebody didn't like it, they tell you it's child porn, and they call the cops, and the police come and they look at it and they're like, oh, well, that could be a sexual position. What do you do? The reason why I'm saying this is going on every day. What if you get charged with something based on somebody else's lie? What if all of a sudden people are sitting there calling you up and slandering your name, and they're putting it on social media, but you don't do anything about it? Can you actually go and fight them? What if you get a brand new vehicle and do not have somebody look over that title and look over the agreement, and now you're paying for an undercoat or paying for something thousands of dollars more for a vehicle that you could have actually said, no, just take the undercoat off, I don't need a tire rotation, I don't need the oil change, and now all of a sudden you just saved an extra $6,000. Would that money been gone to somebody else? Would that have been better to use, save a little money? What if somebody steals your identity and all of a sudden you're like, oh, they can just have it. They can just have my identity. Oh, just have it. You know why? You know what they can do with your identity? They can put you in jail. Why is that important? How many people are coming across the United States border today? You know how many people have come in the last 9 months? 600,000. Let me say that again. 600,000 people have come into the country. Where are they getting their information? Where are they getting the way of getting their benefits? Okay? Where do these coyotes and these people sneak them into the United States? Why are they paying money? They're not paying money to come to the United States. They're paying money for paperwork that has your social security number on it, that has your birthday on it, that has your kid's social security, your kid's birthday. So what if they steal yours? Oh, they can just have it. Great. Who goes to jail if they break the law? Who basically has a problem when they actually sell your house? Who has a problem when they renege on getting a credit card or something, or they basically open up accounts and they fall in default? Who gets in trouble for that? You do. What do you do about it? Well, guess what? You got to be able to prove it, right? What if you're accused of abusing your children because the other parent was abusing them, but passing it off on you so that they wouldn't get busted knowing what they were doing? What if another parent married somebody that was abusing your children? What are you going to do about it? What do you do if somebody pulls a gun on you? What do you do if your kid's bullied at school? What if? What do you do when all of a sudden the school says, hey, by the way, we don't handle this, and they send your child without your permission to a police department, into an interrogation room, the very child that's being bullied and the child that's bullying? What do you do when the school says, we handle it, but we're handling it to the police? We're handling it to the police department. What do you do when all of a sudden you find out that you had problems as kids, and like the governor of Illinois signs a new bill saying, by the way, law enforcement is not allowed to lie to you if you're under the age of 18. in any interrogation. So they were allowed to lie with immunity? Exactly. Now, I want you to get this very clear. I support police. Okay? I do. But I do not support bad police. I support military. I do not support bad military. And that's where we're going to get started at today. That's what I want to tell you. What if? What if life happens? What if you die tomorrow? Do you have a will? Do you have a healthcare power of attorney? Do you have a living will? Do you know what probate is? What if something happens to somebody in your family? What if all of a sudden you get an accident and you're in a coma? Do you know what a living will is? What ifs happen every day. And we are taught that legal's so expensive that unless it's mandatory not to get it. But what if I told you you could have legal for less than $1 a day? For less than a cup of coffee that you have every morning. Less than the bottled water I was just drinking, and now, oh, there it is. What if I told you that you could have a legal team that's the best in the world in all 50 states, all province territories of Canada, for less than a bottle of water a day? Guess what? I went over to the store and got this, and it's cold and it's good, but it's not going to save me if I have police knock on my door. This bottle of water is not going to save me if I have to go to court. This bottle of water is not going to save me if I need to have a legal team protect me because somebody chose to lie, cheat, steal. What if your kid's being abused by the other person, but guess what? They put an order of protection against you, and now you can't have private investigators, you can't ask the cops anything, you can't ask police anything, because if you do, it's considered a violation of order of protection. What do? I'm here to answer those questions. I'm here to help you get questions answered. Maybe not from me, but from a legal team. We're the only, my name is Jeffrey Jansen. I'm an independent associate with Legal Shield and Identity Shield. I run Jansen Solutions. I do business consultations. I help businesses get up and going. I help with LLCs. I help with all types of legal situations. I am not a lawyer by any means. I am not going to give you advice because I have the lawyers that do that for me. And they can be yours also for less than $1 a day. Why? Because we got rid of it. What if you're going down the road? This is a big one. I want you to listen to this one. This one's important. And this one happens every day. This one happens, there's two things, and it's about the same situation. What if you're driving down the road, you have the green light. You go through the green light, and somebody's not paying attention, and they sideswipe you. Now you go to the hospital, you're in a coma, and when you wake up, their insurance company, because they're at fault, but their insurance company decides to sue you instead. And now it's taking everything. You actually have to pay out your own money in order to fight an accident that is not your fault. What if there's ice? And this would happen to me. What if there's ice on the road, and cars are backed up, and a school bus is in front of you, and it's a busy time, you're on a main road, you got cars backed all the way up, and all of a sudden you get the green light, and you got a truck in front of you, in front of that truck is a school bus. The truck moves out of the way because all of a sudden all the cars are coming at you, and you're stopped, but you're pushed all the way to the school bus. You have to turn off to get away from the school bus, all because some teenager got out of school and was on their cell phone 4 or 5 cars back, and they hit all the cars pushing them forward. And now you're being questioned by the police because you were in the lead and they don't know that it was the person all the way back? What do? You know what I did? I picked up the phone and I called my emergency lawyer and I'd say, here, talk to my emergency lawyer, because I didn't do anything. While they're talking to them, I'm also talking to my insurance company, because you know what? This is stupid. Now, why do I say what if? Because these things happen every day. The first one I talked about, our company is 49 years old. 49 years old. Okay? We are just now working more and more with military. We work with families. As long as you're above the age of 18, we can work with you. In the America or anywhere, province of Canada, territory of Canada, all 50 states are covered. We're the only network proprietary law firms in the world. And guess what we do? We help truckers, we help families, you name it, we help them. And that's what I'm going to get ready to go on and show you on here, because we're going to go into something that's important. Because when legal happens, the reason why I got into this is because I watched my brothers, I watched military from all branches committing suicide, and I found out that 17 out of 20 suicides in the military from veterans and active duty happened because of a legal situation. So then I started looking into depression, and I looked into suicides outside the military with regular families and everything else. And did you know the majority of all suicides have to do with some type of a legal situation going on that they feel helpless because the legal system broke them. The legal system was not fair. They didn't have any more money, so they get, a stressed out states. They get a stressed out attorney that is supposed to help them because hey, we're entitled to representation. But guess what? They're not getting fair representation because everybody's so stressed out, and the DA is not held accountable for the charges they put on somebody. So what does that mean? That means if you get it just means it's stressed. And people cannot handle legal. And there's so many people. How come the United States today has more people in jail than anywhere else in the world? Because it's considered a private industry, which means people actually make money for sending people to jail. Why did the numbers kind of topple off at Obama? It wasn't anything Obama did. It's because they ran out of space to put people in jail. Why? Because it's for profit. Now, I'm going to get away from all that. What if you just get a regular speeding ticket? What happens if you do not pay that speeding ticket? Well, you go to jail and you get fined. Okay, what if you go pay that speeding ticket? All those points go on your license. And guess what? Your insurance goes up. Insurance doesn't go up for just a year. It goes up for whenever the next time, right? Basically about 3 to 5 years. So what do? I'm here to answer your questions on that. You know what you can do? First off, we're going to start the series tomorrow. Tonight, if you want, and you want to start looking, go to Jeff Jansen .info. Okay, that's the first one. JEFFJANSEN.info. Do it on your cell phones. Go there. Just take a look. Okay? It's not my main page. It's not a selling page. It's not a sales page. It's to give you an idea of what you can do. Because guess what? That's what I got into this business for. I got into this business to stop guys from committing suicide by helping them with their legal situations. By basically people that are out hunting and all of a sudden they're in trouble because they weren't wearing the right colored vest. Because there are people out there doing drugs, blaming other people, and the people that are not criminals don't understand the system, and they go to jail because they don't understand the system because they don't know that they're going to need legal protection. What if you could call a lawyer, ask anything you want, over anything you want, 5 days a week, and that attorney calls you back within 4 business hours, and they're on your time, you're not on theirs? What would that mean to you? What if I told you that and several other things are less than a bottle of water? And you can have lawyers. Why? Because when you have over 6 million members plus, you can do that. You can have high-powered attorneys. And everybody gets to use them because we're not all using them at the same time. What if I could tell you that, in that same deal, you could have 15 contracts or documents reviewed, so all of a sudden, you don't need that undercoating of a vehicle. All of a sudden, you don't need that tire rotation. What if all of a sudden you get a lemon cell phone, but they're like, oh, it's your fault, and they don't want to do it. Now you got to pay the next couple years for a phone that you never even touched, and when it got to you, it was bad, but they chose to fight you. I had that happen a couple years ago. What if you get charged by Amazon because somebody actually is pretending to be you, and now all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, you owe this. Why? What if all of a sudden Amazon says you owe them because they were trying to run your credit card or something, and each time they were charging you, but you never did it? Well, they're not going to listen to you. Do you know how to get a hold of them? I do now. Do you know how to get a hold of T-Mobile? Do you know how to get a hold of U.S. Cellular and not their third-party stores in order to fix your situation? What if you could send a letter or phone? What if you could have a lawyer send out a letter, or have a lawyer send out a phone call for either a cease and desist, or maybe, hey, you owe money, or somebody owes you money, or maybe somebody treated you unfairly, but instead of going to court, you want them to handle it better than what they did. What if you and your wife decide that, look, it's too hard, it's not meant to be anymore, and you both agree to an uncontested divorce, and you can have that done at no charge, just for having a membership? What if you could get your will done, and it's good for life, whether you stick with the company or not, and the will only costs you about $29? Will, healthcare, power of attorney, living will. What if you get your will done, and they write it up, they ask you if everything's okay, they send it to you, you have it notarized, you put it in the refrigerator, because if something happens to you, now it's in there. If you go into a coma, it's called a living will. Do you know what probate is? What if you could call up your lawyers and ask, hey, what's probate? Hey, what happens to my kids if something happens to me? We're so worried about our kids, but we don't worry about what happens if something happens to us. We worry about them now, but what if something happens to you? Oh, I'll put that off for another. Great, you keep putting things off, and it's the same reason why I tell people they matter. You're going to put it off for so long, they're going to be gone. And it's going to be too late to do anything about it. It's going to get expensive. The more you wait, the more expensive it gets. You know, you need to plan ahead. So what if you had an entire legal team to do that and didn't have to worry about a contract or a contract or a copay? What if you didn't have any deductibles or sign-up fees? What if you could do that? That's what I do. That's what we help you with. I am not a lawyer. I'm an independent associate with leadership, but I'm not a lawyer. I can't give you advice, but I have the best attorneys that can. Now, are attorneys always going to be what you want to hear? No, it's like going to a doctor and that doctor saying you have cancer. What happens if that doctor says you have cancer? It's going to hurt you, but you're like, I don't got cancer. You know, I don't like that doctor. You know what? I'm going to go to a different doctor. I'm going to get a second opinion. So a second opinion, the doctor goes, no, it looks like lymphoma. It looks like you're going to have cancer. Well, I don't like that doctor either. I'm going to go get another doctor's opinion. I'm going to get another doctor's opinion. It looks like you got cancer. So you go back to that first doctor. Doc, you're right. You got cancer. What do I got to do? Let's start fighting it. Let's start doing something about it. That's the way the legal system is. We can actually fight now, so later on, if you get a ticket, you have representation. What if all you got to do is hand the phone out and have an officer? I mean, after hours, do you want your wife or your kids answering any questions from a cop without having legal protection? No, you hand it out to the window. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, emergency protection for all emergency situations. What if you had that? I used to have a nightclub. It's funny, because I'll get into the nightclub stuff later, but it's really, really funny, because everybody's like, I'm going to get my lawyer. Well, great, buddy, that's fine. You've been drinking. You know what? Guess what? We're cutting you off. Or, you know, you get the people like, oh, they spike drinks. Or, oh, you know, they're taking it. No, what it is you're drinking too much. You're an idiot. But you know how many people told me every single time, I'm going to get my lawyer. I got a lawyer. I'm going to get my lawyer. Great, because every time you call your lawyer, you pay per hour. I call my lawyer, I'm already paid. My lawyer's already paid. They're already ready to go. And guess what? My lawyers don't need me in court unless a judge needs me there. For all those what-if situations, my lawyers are handling it so I don't have to. I don't need to have millions of dollars to have a legal team at my beck and call. JeffJansen.info. Now let's get into truckers a little bit, okay? Oh, by the way, IRS audit, handle that. Good, bam, check, good. Answer questions, good. So if something that we cover, all that's good. Now if it's something that we don't cover, and you guys can ask, you call up the lawyer, and if it's something that is not covered, we give you at least a 25% for a member discount. Pretty simple. But we're going to go into details on that tomorrow. Real quick, I want to cover, what about truckers? Right now, I've been telling you, how can I save truckers money? That's easy. Making sure that I fight your tickets in court. Making sure that you have a 24-hour emergency service on the road. Making sure your family's safe back home. Making sure that those points don't go up. It's not the fact that we have a trucker shortage. It's a fact that we have good truckers shortage. There's a difference. They don't tell you that part. Because the truckers need to have good CSA scores, a good MVR, a good PSP. Right? If you get a ticket, what happens? That's times 10, which means if you get 1 point, that's actually 10 points. 2 points, 20 points. And so on and so forth. I'll give you all the CSA information. How can I help people? We keep those points off of your record. We go into court and fight for it. Coast to coast, border to border. We're going to help truck drivers no matter where they're at, who they are. Just like we're helping families, we're helping truck drivers. You can go to truckguy.org. Go to truckguy.org. I write it in purple, otherwise it's a different color. So go to truckguy.org. These are not pay sites. These are not my sales sites. These are just telling you how I can help you, how we can benefit you, and you can look at them on your time. Yes, look at it on your time. This is your time, okay? The reason why, when you call up that lawyer, you're not paying each time you call. When you call them up, they're going to talk to you every time. They're going to call you back within 4 business hours every time. Why? Because they're here to help you. They can keep you out of court. You know why? Because if we can fix your problem now, it means we don't have to go to court, which means you don't have to have those high expenses. Whatever we can do now, maybe you owe a bill, maybe somebody owes you. We can handle all that for you, and it's all covered. It's all covered for less than what it cost me for this bottle of water. This was like $1.50 or something, which I'm surprised because water keeps going up. It's freaking water. Water has been around forever. 75% of the earth is made of water. 75% of our body is made of water.